Good morning, students. So, in this lecture also, we would continue to discuss E.M. Foster essay, My Woods. In the previous lecture, I have given you a brief introduction of the essay, and now in this lecture, we will discuss in detail the arguments which are given by E.M. Foster on the subject that what is the effect of property upon a character, upon a personality. Now, first of all, the argument given by him is that when you own a property, when you purchase a property, you feel a kind of pride. You feel yourself weighty and heavy. There is a feeling of arrogance comes in you that you own a property, you have purchased, you are the owner of a big farmhouse. So this is the feeling is generated by the property, by owning a property. And it is clearly described in the Holy Bible that a man of weight cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, man of weight means the person who has a slight fragrance of pride, who has some kind of arrogance, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. It is described in the Bible. And there is also a parable. Now, what is a parable? Parable is a story which has some moral. In many holy books, many parables are described. Now, that describes that stories are not described for fun, because every story which is described in holy books, there is some moral lesson. It gives a moral lesson. Through the story, it becomes very easy to understand a layman what is the message of God. So there is a parable of an unfortunate millionaire. The man was not wicked. The man was not, he was a very good man. He was not wicked, means he was not proudly wicked. But he could not get entry into the heaven because he was stout. S-T-O-U-T. Stout means, the word is used in the essay, stout means fat. He was fat, so he could not pass through the gates of heaven. It is very difficult. It is also a fact of man. It is also a fact that if a man has a lot of things, for example, you just imagine that if you are traveling, you are journeying from one place to another, and if you have a lot of luggage, so how difficult it becomes to journey, how to become to climb or to pass the platform and other things. So it becomes a very hurdle when you have a lot of things. So similarly, when a person dies, then if he carries all these kind of evils, so it is very difficult. It becomes impossible to pass the gate of heaven. It is very difficult to move one place from one place to another. He would think even twice to take bath in the Jordan. What does that means? Jordan means a holy river in Palestine. The writer gives this reference because if you want to go on a pilgrimage, bath in a Jordan means when you go on for example, Ganga Snan to and other places, Gangotri, and you have a lot of luggage, lot of things, then your mind is always disturbed that you are performing all the rites, but many times you think that what would happen of your things. So he would take twice to take a bath in Jordan. And in this regard, Tolstoy has also rightly pointed out. Tolstoy, you know that the writer E.M. Foster has quoted in the essay, Tolstoy was a famous Russian novelist. And he was the person who denounced all this property and became a writer. It restricts what he says, that a property is sinful. He also discourages to own property, because when you own property you become selfish and it provokes violence. It is the theory of Tolstoy. So he also says that the owning a property is sinful. It restricts to do noble deeds. It is hurdle in the path of heaven. So the first argument which the writer puts what is the effect of property upon a man, that it makes him heavy or weighty. In other words, he becomes a very proudy, arrogant, and the second point, it motivates a person to enlarge his property. When you own a property, always these thoughts come in your mind that anyhow you should enlarge, you should make it big, your property. The person is always obsessed with this thought. In his view, it is necessary to round up property. And many times you think that your property is have corners, then you think that it is necessary, it is essential to make it round off. He considered to build a boundary around it, but he forgets this fact that boundary should also be protected. हम बाउंड्री बनाने की सोचते हैं, लेकिन बाउंड्री को भी प्रोटेक्ट करने की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, बिकॉज बाउंड्री भी टूट जाती हैं. तो बाउंड्री शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड. In this way, there is no end to such a kind of possessiveness. It means that this hunger of enlarging property continues, goes on and on. It never becomes less. Alexander the Great lost his life in this pursuit. You have heard the name of Alexander the Great, who dreamed to conquer all the world. He conquered most of the part of the world, but there is no end to like that. All kind of material wealth would not make a person happy. And when a person dies, he leaves all his wealth in this world. It is useless to fight over worldly things. After death, your property doesn't go with you. It remains here and you go alone there. So this is the second point, the second argument given by him. Now let's look at the third argument which Foster gives about property. He says that a property makes a person restless. Now, what does it mean? That a person who owns a property, he is always anxious. He remains always conscious and anxious and restless. The person is obsessed with this feeling that he should do something to it. He never neglects the property. He is always busy with his property. Foster compares ironically his feelings to the act of artistic creation. What does it mean? That as the poets are disturbed to write something novel things, some new things, some new ideas are always going on in the writer's mind, particularly in poet's mind, when they compose lines of the poem, they are always busy. So similarly, a person who owns a property becomes restless. There is always these thoughts come to his mind that he should do something to it, something. It is generated from foolish desire to express one's personality. He wants to become a big man in society. He thinks that people should give him credit that he is a person who owns such a large property. So he says, Foster says that creation, property and enjoyment, they are a sinister trinity. They are the three things, they are the trinity of the human mind. In other words, it reflects the defect of the soul. There is no doubt in it that a major part of human beings' life is related to material joy. Most of the time we spend in this world is related to material, to worldly joys. They also want to possess things, but human beings have not learned the art to manage materialism and enjoyment. This is the most important sentence, that human beings have not learned the art to manage materialism and enjoyment. That how you can say that how long we should be materialistic and at what limit should be of our materialism and enjoyment. So we have not learned the art. We have progressed so much, but we have not learned the art, the skill to manage the materialism and our enjoyment. Sometimes, most of the times, we go beyond the limit and it continues. There is no end, there is no break. to it of our materialistic pursuit. Dante, as you know that an Italian poet, he also says in this regard, which is quoted by the writer, possession is one with loss. That possession means that you are at loss. Now loss not in this world but in the other world. When you dies, after death, you will get nothing. And finally, the fourth argument which the writer puts in this regard, that the owner of the property is disturbed with this that blackberries are not plentiful in his form. Now, what does the blackberries? It means a kind of fruit. Any kind of fruit. If a person has apple trees, then there are apples. So he says that there are not plenty of fruits in his farm. It is cursed by public footpath. There is a public way passing through the farm. So there is a disturbance. Therefore, he had built the high walls on each side of the path. In this way, no one can peep into his farm. So he tries to build huge walls to protect it. Foster wants to emphasize that possession of property makes a person extremely selfish. What is the effect? That it makes a person selfish. Now, finally, the writer ends the essay with a significant remark: all material gains are short-lived. Whatever material gains we have made, they are short-lived. The history is full of such events that when great kings died in a common way, they died in a common way. In this way, previous century, there was a revolution when Bolshevik, the Communist Party, the China Communist Party came into power, and they abolished all kind of private ownership of property. And in this way, all properties of the human beings were taken away in that country. And now this can happen at any time, at any stage. This kind of revolution could arise, which prohibits a person to own a property. So this is in this way, very humorously, the writer concludes the essay, and the arguments which he has given are of practical nature, and you can feel that the discussion of the essay begins with a personal note, but it concludes with a universal appeal. And I hope that you have enjoyed it and you will read it, and I have sent you the PDF notes. You can also take the notes of it and enjoy the essay. Thank you.